Chapter 14, Jim Crow 2.0. If I would have gone to trial and lost, it would have probably been on a lesser offense or not all of the charges. I probably would have ended up with a lesser sentence, plus I would have kept all of my rights to appeal. But instead, I had actually pled guilty to almost the exact crimes that I was charged with and sentenced to the maximum on each charge. This was absolutely the worst possible outcome in a criminal case. A lawyer is supposed to negotiate to get the best deal possible for his client. I had 4 charges, and I pled guilty to 4 charges. None of them was dropped as part of the bargain. Then I got sentenced to the maximum on each charge, with every one of them running consecutive to the other. It was a horrible plea, and it definitely wasn't a bargain. I got angry, and my face became tightened at the thought of my lawyer and the judge. Why would he not consider giving a child a second chance? Anywhere in society, I wouldn't be considered an adult because of not only my age, but also my maturity level. The government passed laws that barred me from buying alcohol, gambling, entering a casino, booking a hotel room, voting, giving blood, enlisting in the military, making medical decisions, buying stocks, real estate or a car, renting a car, run for state office, getting a credit card, getting married, or even having sex with someone 18 or over because of my maturity level as a child. But the criminal justice system considered me a full-fledged adult. Why would he dismiss the idea of a rebellious minor going to psychological programs or back to school instead of prison? He couldn't give me a life sentence, so what did he think a long prison sentence would do? Definitely wouldn't help, so it must be to hurt. This was obvious with him giving me the maximum sentence on each charge. My family thought he was maybe influenced by some higher-ups. People who plead guilty to a crime very rarely got the maximum, especially a child. The elder also told me that politics was always involved. The government always pushed for young black people to plead guilty to a felony, no matter the crime. They would dangle freedom or a low sentence, but in reality, the felony conviction was of the most importance because it accomplished the bigger goal. 1. Disenfranchise you from voting, in some states for life. 2. Deprive you from legally carrying a firearm for the rest of your life. 3. Hinder you from great career opportunities, especially entering politics or any job or contract that requires a security clearance. 4. Deprive you from getting a liquor license and license dealing with chemicals like hazmat. 5. Sometimes hinder you from housing. And 6. Deprive you from sitting on a jury. This hindrance will be on your record for the rest of your life. They designed it specifically for this reason. It was Jim Crow 2.0. At 60 years old, you will be paying for the same mistake you made at 16. On the back of the bus to Lorton, all I could think about was what I put my family through, and that I had been seriously planning on turning my life around. And now that plan had been destroyed. There's no turning back now. I won't make it home until I'm probably in my mid-20s. To a 17-year-old, that seemed like a trip around the world and back. I stared out the windows at the DC streets and I knew I wouldn't see them again for a long time. My parents and homies sent reassuring messages that a new attorney would be hired to help in resentence. I had asked my girlfriend not to come to my sentencing just in case something like this happened. And I knew once she found out how much time I received, she would be in pain. I knew my homies, parents, cousins, aunts, uncles, and grandparents were in pain. The last string of family cohesiveness was now strained. Family members were now blaming each other for my downfall. My mom was dealing with regrets of even coming to America from Jamaica. My pops was feeling like a failed parent. My preteen sisters were dealing with the loss of a brother, and my brother was staring at his own fate. I put my head down and stared at the raggedy floors on the bus as I thought about the judge. How could a man that supports and benefits from wars, colonization, oppression, and occupation call someone violent and a menace? How could a man that was most likely raised privileged because of his complexion look down his nose at anyone? That notable coward. That Bolton hutch of beastliness. As Shakespeare would say, that swollen parcel of dropsies. Huge stuffed cloak bag of guts. That roasted ox with pudding in his belly. He was a hypocritical psychopath, and my lawyer was his stooge.